Hey guys, Elite Legionarii here, and today I'll be bringing you another 4 versus 4 for Rome Total War on the grassy flatlands, which is not one of my favourite maps, but it's kind of necessary for these big ones. Well, not necessary, but you know, most people don't join them if you don't use them on this map. So, I'm playing as the Greek city-state, as you can see. My ally here, the Julii, Gamble, he was in my last FFA. He was the Seleucid 4 FFA, right? Not FFA, 4 versus 4 game, sorry guys, I'm getting all tongue-tied here. He was in my last one as the Seleucids, I believe. We actually did this one first before the other one, so this one actually came before the last FFA. 4 versus 4 that's on my channel. Here is the Equate Emperor. I've found to be very good. You can make a cunningly good use of these equites, which is quite impressive. And then there is Belisarius, who is in command of the Scipii Romans. I believe he was also in that last 4 versus 4. And that's our team. Might just pause it here, guys, because the back action's getting started, and I'm not going to have time to outline them if I you know, don't let it pause. So I'm going to pause. So this guy, Vlad of the TNA clan, is playing as Egypt, and he's going to play one of those really annoying Egyptian skirmish armies that are also so deadly and effective. And his army consists of a couple of desert axemen, chariot archers, scythe chariots, I think, heavy chariots, some Pharaoh's guards, bowmen, just, you know, and some Pharaoh's bowmen, I think. So this sort of, you know, that typical Egyptian army. This is Walnuts, the Nuts clan, which is a fairly new clan, I think, but nonetheless I've seen some pretty good players in it. He's playing as Numidia, and I've played him before, and he's very good with Numidia. He pretty soundly beat me, I think, or I might have had an ally, I can't remember. He's a couple of slingers, and looks like 5 or 6 archers. Looks to be gold attack at least, I think it could be more. He's got some long shield cavalry, he's got some Numidian legionnaires, he's got 4 of those, 4 long shield cavalry, and 4 Numidian cavalry. So really powerful, 2 very powerful skirmishing armies out there on our enemy's left flank. And the opponents that me and Gamble will be facing are using more traditionalist armies. The Seleucid army under Congress consists of at least 6 archers, consists of 5 silver shield pikes, and it looks to be 4 cataphracts by that design. And the Macedonian player, Bilbo Baggins, he deployed automatically to run and fuse with the Seleucid player Congress. If you noticed it before, he sort of deployed sideways. His army consists of 4 royal pikemen, which is to be gold, 2 light lancers, 2 companions, and 4 Cretians, it looks, and a regular archer. Well, it might be 3 companions actually. I think it's good mix, and 3 and his next one archer unit too. But light lancers and companions together is a very good combination if used right. My army is pretty standard setup for when I use Greece. I have 2 Spartans, 6 armoured hoplites, all gold, and I think it's either 3 or 4, I can't remember. It depends. Cretan archers, usually it's 4, and I have a couple of militia cavalry to harass and try and draw out enemy units. Gamble has archer auxilia, quite a heavy force of them, 5 of those, which is not what depends. It's kind of risky for him to go with an army of that design against what we're up against, but yeah. He's also got 3 urban cohort. I think I actually made this 10k, I might not have, I can't remember. No, I don't think I did. And he's got 3 Praetorians. And of course, the Equate Emperor's got, I think he's got 6 Equites, 2 Praetorian cavalry, 5 Roman archers, and 4 urban cohort. And Belisarius has got 4 Praetorian cavalry, Roman armour general, 3 urban cohorts, and looks like 4 archer auxilia and 2 Roman archers. So let's get down to the business of battle. So automatically these archer auxilia are going to get wasted because of the sheer weight of fire that's going to be pinned down on them. And you see they're actually sort of they were made useless in this battle. Not useless, but the amount of money he spent on them was made wasteful because the battle engaged at such close range that regular archers could have done just as well for a whole lot cheaper, and he could have put more upgrades into his cav or his infantry. So I'm going to harass here with my cav. I don't really care if they get hit here. I'm just going to let them take fire. That way I can focus my archer fire on the other two, because if you can see, these Cretan archers are going to blow these archer auxilia away. So I need to try and stall that so that we don't get dominated too badly in the missile duel. The enemy's forces are way better in the terms of missiles, the other team. So my allies, pretty much where he put his, I think, greatest strength has been pretty much nullified, so that's really bad. And it has allowed me to get a few very good startups on this Macedonian, and that's good because they have a lot more missiles than us. Or at least they do than me. I only have 3 or 4, I think. But I've managed to nullify at least 2 units of Cretan archers down to about, I've nullified 2 units. I'm also going to use my JFK continually just to, over here they took some fire, but it was good because it took some attention off these archer auxilia, which are still in it now, and even though there's only a few of them, they will still focus some of their attention, which will leave me with a greater level of success with mine. So I'm going to use my JFK here to skirmish with them and to basically just distract, and it doesn't really bother me that they get defeated. They're just usually to draw away pieces of units, harass, and just take the attention off my Cretan archers so that I can inflict heavier casualties on these Macedonian ones. As you can see, I've now defeated 3 units of Cretan archers. Because if we lose the arch duel and they're going to have this much left, they can just swing around our flanks and destroy us. It'll be effortless for them. And the problem is, because I'm the Greek city-states, I have no good cavalry, and they've got a huge cavalry advantage. Which is why I was a wee bit concerned when he brought so many archer auxilia. These Praetorian cav are useful and they'll be helpful, but he doesn't have much. And I'm telling him to unite with me here. We need to fuse up. I do have vastly superior infantry, and I have done a pretty good job against the Macedonians' archers. If you're looking at the other parts of the field, it's a very tight battle between Nuts and Equitae Emperor. Obviously those Equitae are not going to beat these Numidians, but they were a good idea. He drew them in, baited Nuts' caravan, and then he brought in the urban cohort, which, as you know, will make pretty good work out of anything Numidia has, basically. Over here he manages to use some other units to isolate some of Nuts' infantry away from his cavalry, and that's never good when you're skirmishing. You don't want to get isolated, which is usually what skirmish players try to do, but if you can turn it around on them, it's really handy. And as you can see, Equitae Emperor has successfully done so, but he'll have to be careful he doesn't get too isolated himself. Fortunately these urbans will have kept up, so that's good for him. Over here, as you can see, Belisarius, he really has no chance because he's just, look at this Egyptian setup on him. It's just swamping him. I feel sorry for him. I've had this done to me before by Egyptian players who use this army. It's horrible. Not a lot you can do about it though. So here we fuse, skirmishing away still, and doing what best that we can here. Now I told him to form his men up in front so we can dish out the peeler, so that means my men can quickly rout his when they get engaged. So here they rush forward, but what happens is, I guess when we get playing we get a little too static. I was still trying to direct this guy, Gamble. I don't think he was that experienced, and I was kind of having trouble directing him and focusing on what was going on the battlefield myself, and I was a little concerned about the other side of the field because it wasn't looking that great. But as you can see, what's starting to happen is the Equite Emperor is actually starting to beat Nuts, so I was hoping he might be able to come in and help. But as you can see, well, he kills Nuts' general there. As you can see, Gamble gets a bit caught out here, and what's happening is we're getting outflanked and outpositioned, which means I'm going to have to peel off my reserve line from flanking, which is a little bit of a concern. But this is what I said about us getting a little static. I was sort of focused so much on trying to assist Gamble, telling him what to do. I mean, here's a perfect opportunity for him to destroy these companion cavalry. These cataphracts come in though for support, so that's not such a good idea. But what we could have done is we could have probably engaged here, and he could have hammer and ambled, or he could have done more damage. He's got a couple of Arcani, I didn't see them before, and that's a real waste of money. In all honesty, it just is. We're going to get the peeler off here, but we can see, as you can see, we're pretty much outflanked. Now, as I said, I was a bit over focused on helping Gamble, that I didn't actually turn my men very well or in time, and that's unfortunate. And as you can see, his cav just, they could have been really helpful, and they were absolutely vital, but they're not going to get used, and this unit's just going to get routed, and he's just not even aware of what's going on, so there's not really much I can do here. So I'm doing the best I can do with what I've got here, but we're pretty much screwed. Their dominance in the cavalry field was pretty decisive, and same with the archer field, but I've still got a lot of my Cretians alive, so it's helpful. And I'm getting a bit overwhelmed by sheer numbers here, but my men are really well able to handle these guys. These urbans he pulled back, and this is not a bad idea because it's at least going to stall. So as you can see, there goes the Scipii general, so the Egyptians pretty much cleaned him up. Now, sheer weight of numbers coming in here is going to overwhelm my Spartans. Unfortunately, they rout. Here, I've left a reserve line so I can shield my flanks in the front to try and win it out there, and to shield my archers. Now I'm going to try and outflank here and go around the side, which I do, but he sees it coming and he's going to bring his cataphracts out. But I'm going to get my men to phalanx formation, or they were in phalanx, yeah, as you can see they were, you just couldn't really tell, to try and deal with that. These urbans are going to stall, but my Cretian archers and my other armoured hoplites are now caught up, but it is doing a lot of damage to them. And as you can see, we are actually doing pretty well, or my guys are doing very well, my Spartans and armoured hoplites, but my ally, he didn't have enough stuff. He put too much into those archers, and they were of little effect. So even though my infantry is doing really well, I got too much stuff to fight against to do much about it, and the Roman general now dies, or Julli general. But as you can see, my Spartans have destroyed they're wrapped up the left, and I've cracked through the centre here, so I'm going to attempt to outflank. We've still got opportunity here. These cavalry could have been really deadly too. They could have hammer and anvil right straight here against these Macedonians and silver shields. I reckon it would have broken them. I know it's not many of them, but I reckon it would have. He did able to stall a lot of this cavalry that was against us, which was helpful, and I've been able to do a considerable amount of damage, but it's those cataphracts, they're just prowling and I can't do much about them. But these cav could have been quite useful. They could have hammer and anvil in here, but by this point I was too busy focusing on trying to keep this together, and my ally didn't really, I just couldn't communicate to him and keep it all together. So I think he's fairly new though. But as you can see, I'm going to get hammer and anviled here, but my men are going to hold out really well, and I'm still dishing out quite a bit of damage. So as you can see, those silver shields and front line, it completely collapsed, and quite a large number of royal pikemen took a beating too. But as you can see, we're not going to win. Equite Emperor obviously won his field. The Egyptian easily won his field, but that's pretty much to be expected with the kind of army he's using. I think, in my honest opinion, clan members who use that army, I don't think they really should, because clan members, like good clan members, should not use that kind of Egyptian army, in my opinion, because it's just so powerful, and they're all really good players. So unless they're up against other really good players, most of us are just average players. But I don't reckon they should, but that's just my opinion. I'm not saying they should, like, absolutely should never use it. I'm just saying they shouldn't rely on it. But as you can see, some of these royal pikemen get pretty much half depleted. The silver shield pikemen are gone. The cataphracts are severely depleted. I think we did pretty good. Well, I think they did better, obviously, because they've come out on top. But a lot of these cavalry got squandered. Those Praetorian cavalry could have been so decisive if they were freed up to just hammer and amble quickly. If you'd freed up their main infantry line, their cavalry would have been useless against our army. But never mind. I think he was fairly new, and it was still a good fight. And over here, the Equatorian Emperor is going to go down in glory. He fought really well. Skirmish armies are hard to defeat. If you're up against a good clan member who knows how to use a skirmish army, it's almost impossible to beat them, in my opinion, unless you're really good yourself. But there's his general as well. So this time, this 4 vs 4 will not go my team's way. But I wouldn't say it was a disastrous defeat for us. They're pretty depleted, in my opinion anyway. The Seleucid player is pretty much non-existent. The Macedonian player is about half, and the Egyptian player is about half. And the Numidian got destroyed. So it's not like it's a big decisive defeat for us. It's just sort of an average, in my opinion. I don't know whether the game calls it that or not. So I'm just going to triple speed. That's just going to do this stuff to the end. But I think for our team, Equatorian Emperor, the Brutii player, deserves the most credit, seeing as he did so well. And I know Nuts is not an easy, he's a good player, so it's credit to Equatorian Emperor. And well done to the Macedonian, Seleucid, Numidian, and Egyptian player on their victory. It was a fun game though. So it says it's a clear defeat. It didn't look well. I suppose we got pretty cleaned up. I think our biggest trouble was poor Belisarius here. He got saddled having to fight the Egyptian army in the hands of a competent skirmish army player. So that's really, really troubling and hard to defeat. But as you can see, we didn't do bad. Me and Equatorian got quite a lot of kills, and Gamble held his own. But as you can see, Vlad, the TNA clan, who's Egypt, got heaps. But for the most part, I got, Equatorian got the second most kills in the entire game, and I got the third, even though these guys were still, winners. So statistics here, as you can see, Spartans, pretty good. Armoured hoplites, good. Grecian archers were very good. Militia cavalry actually did. I don't usually have. They work well for what I need them to do this time round, but a couple of my armoured hoplites didn't do so flash, but the rest of them did pretty good, considering how much was arrayed against them. But I think ultimately what sort of failed me and Gamble's side of the field was his cavalry didn't be decisive enough. Although they did have an extreme cavalry dominance, I think he put too much into his archers, and they didn't really pull a lot off. So we were kind of left wanting there in the end. But a very good job on Equatorian Emperor's part, overcoming all nuts there. He got pretty soundly beaten actually, by the looks of those statistics. So that's good. I understand Belisarius' frustration with that particular fight. I mean, I hate fighting Egypt with that army build. But anyway, good game to you 7 guys. Thanks for playing, and hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.